What's up, guys? Welcome to Vintage Genetics, where it is all about classic bodybuilding. And here you can see me talk with Nick Strength and Power right before heading to the Arnold Classic Ohio Expo, because this is part 3 of my experience in Columbus, Ohio, which was an amazing experience. But this is me talking to Nick. I've been watching his videos a whole lot, and as you guys know, I did the Mr. Golden Era competition in 2017, and that really helped gain popularity for me as well. So I'm very thankful for his channel, which is very amazing. So check him out at Nick's Strength and Power on YouTube. And I just want to show you guys the experience I've had at the Expo, the amazing support that I've been getting, a lot of people recognizing me, which, trust me, is a very unique thing. And that's Bradley Martin, by the way, who I will be doing something with in the near future in terms of collaboration, but more about that later. But here you can see the atmosphere and the environment at the Arnold Classic Expo, one of the largest and best expos regarding bodybuilding, nutrition, and sports that there is. And it was pretty amazing walking around here. You can see all kinds of sports taking place, just like this incredible squat. But also pretty interesting stuff like this dog who actually keeps his glasses or her glasses on. And you can see Brian Ashley there, the best classic physique athlete in the world. And there is a pretty amazing picture collage of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Frankie Columbu, basically the golden era of bodybuilding at Leather, which is a brand that was at the Arnold Classic Expo. And of course, I had to do some classic posing right here to represent the golden era, because this is what classic physique is to me. At least it's what I've always thought it to be. Classic stands for, the past. And, the 70s, especially this golden era, to me is the ultimate past of bodybuilding, what bodybuilding truly stands for, because then it was truly, really getting popular and getting created. And so many people came up to me, they saw the show, because I think it was 2 days or 1 day before that this footage was shot, that the actual show was, and I believe this was either Saturday or Sunday, and the show was on a Friday. So a lot of people came up to me, they actually witnessed me on stage, and they told me exactly what they thought about the outcome. And it was just very nice to hear all the compliments and all the positive feedback I've been getting from all of these amazing people. So the support I've been getting really motivated me, because of course, placing number 10 when you expect a lot more was a bit disappointing at first, but then receiving so many compliments from the people who actually witnessed the show and the people walking around this expo just made so much more good. It just made everything feel much better. And people came up to me from different brands, wanted to interview me. And by the way, the people who keep filming me, as I've mentioned before, are from Hot Shots Productions. They're a Dutch film company who will be documenting, who actually have documented the entire process towards the Arnold Classic, and there will be a documentary about that very soon. But anyway, here I suddenly saw Steve Laureus, number 2 in the classic physique lineup, ranked number 2 at this Arnold Classic show. So of course, he's a amazing athlete, amazing personality, very kind. So of course I had to get a picture with him, because I've always looked up to him before I met him in real life. I met him for the first time at the Olympia last year, and he's just a very nice, humble guy. And I told him that to me he had the most classic physique out of the top 6, in my honest opinion. So that's what I told him. And he's just amazing, has an amazing physique, a small waist, full muscle bellies, and I believe he still has a lot of weight to go before actually reaching his maximum weight. So he still has a lot of progress to make before hitting his true potential in this class. So that's very exciting to see for sure. Here I was basically telling him about what I thought about the placings, especially about his own placing versus George Peterson. They're both amazing athletes. But to me, the more classical physique belongs to Steve Laureus, and perhaps the more complete physique belongs to George Peterson. And you know, very conditioned, very complete, very full muscles. But Steve Laureus in the classic division, to me, is a little more suitable to win, to actually represent the class like this. Of course, he was more than ready to pose with me, which is amazing because I know a lot of athletes as well who don't want to take off their shirt or do anything or pose, stuff like that. So everyone who does that really has my respect. And there you can see some amazing things like Danny Lynn Bailey. And here you can see some amazing wheelchair athlete with amazing upper body strength, very respectable indeed. And this is Marley, my girlfriend, actually doing the Ninja Wall, the Ninja Warrior course right here. It's pretty amazing to see as well. And you know, just by looking at this, you can see how big the expo is, how many different things that you can do around this expo. So that was a great experience. We actually walked over here 2 days. At the Olympia, there was also an expo, but because that was my first time that I placed so low, we weren't really motivated to walk around the expo. But this time I felt very confident because at the Olympia, I knew that my shape wasn't optimal. But here I knew that my shape was pretty much where it was supposed to be. Of course, it can always be better, but I've just still felt pretty good, especially after walking around the expo, getting so much incredible feedback. But yes, there was a lot of stuff to do for sure at this expo. And whenever there is a challenge that I can do, of course I will do it. I love to do bench press challenges or any other challenges that I can find. But here there was a deadlift challenge with a very, wide fat grip bar basically. So I had no idea how much this weighs, but it weighed quite a lot. But it's hard to tell because the grip correlates to how much you think, how much it feels like it weighs. So this could weigh in between like 100 or 150, 160 kilograms, I have no idea. So the way to get upwards isn't that difficult, but it's just holding the weight. And especially after just having the show, my strength wasn't really there that much, but still, I was able to hit this quite a lot of times, and a lot of people weren't able to do even one rep at this. So even though I never do deadlifts, I was pretty proud that I was able to do this a couple of times, and that's why I love these challenges, as long as you do them responsibly. But right now you can see that my brother will also be attempting this, and trust me, he is not one to be underestimated because there's a lot of strength in him. We are Vintage Genetics, Team Vintage Genetics. And the genetics have always stood not just for my genetics, but also my brother's genetics. We have the same parents, obviously. So we also got those genes, and he has a lot of potential, which is slowly being brought to light. And here you can see the strength aspect of it, but his physique is getting better and better, and I'm looking forward to seeing him on stage. So comment down below if you want to see him more often work out with me, or if you want to see his lifestyle more often. And make sure to go to his Instagram page @Vissers and tell him how much you guys want to see him in the videos, because that simply needs to happen, and he needs your motivation to make it happen. And then of course it is time to go to the gym to also work out in the true powerhouse gym in Columbus, Ohio. A very popular gym for sure, as you can see how busy it is. And someone actually came to me, drove all the way to Columbus from Texas. And this is him right here. He's called Elvis, one of the most loyal supporters out there. He actually went to Chicago as well to watch me win that victory. He has bought all the clothing, as you can see, so I just want to give him a very special shout out. He always wanted to work out with me, work out some back. He also, of course, wearing the Vintage Genetics Stay Golden Stringer. He is an amazing supporter, so just wanted to tell you guys that people like this I really, really appreciate. So what we just worked out some back, we did some heavy rowing on the machine, some heavy pull downs, just everything we were able to do. Because every single athlete who competed at the Arnold Classic actually got 1 or 2 VIP passes to join this gym for free. So that's why the popularity of the gym is so high, because they were, I think, an official sponsor of the Arnold Classic, and this is a true, you know, really a nice building, a hardcore gym in a very nice environment. So, you know, if you are in the Columbus area, definitely try it out to work out at least once in this powerhouse gym. So we did some back, as I said, some nice rowing, and I actually was able to go pretty heavy only a couple of days after the show, because of course we went to the Cheesecake Factory, one of my favorite American restaurants. This is probably like number 4 or number 5 that I've been there in my life. The first time was in Chicago, then in Las Vegas we went there, and now in Columbus, Ohio we also went there. So that was a pretty amazing experience to eat all these different cheesecakes once again, and that's what I always look forward to whenever I go to America post-show. But the nice thing is, almost no matter what you eat, and of course I'm not going all out like some bodybuilders do, but I eat quite a lot more obviously than the diet, a lot more carbs, salt and stuff like that. And then your body starts to fill up, but the conditioning is still pretty much there. Of course you're not having the exact same details as before, which is why you never try to have a lot of cheat meals before going on stage, because you do look fuller, but you are a lot heavier, which would make it impossible to reach the weight limits. That's the most difficult thing about classic physique, is that you cannot really overdo it with the loading phase, because if you do, then you are screwed at the weigh-ins. But as you can see, the conditioning is pretty much there, but there's a lot more fullness to go around in the physique. So a lot more carbohydrates inside the muscle, all the fluid and all the salt that I've been eating has gone inside the muscle. And perhaps next time with the next contest, which will be, you know, it will take quite a while before I do that. As I told you guys, I'm going to work for a long time on the weak points instead of just doing shows after show back to back. But what I might actually try is not eliminate the salt at all next time, because I do note the salt holds a much greater fullness in my muscles without sacrificing conditioning for me. And I've always had a high salt, high sodium diet, so eliminating it prevents holding water under the skin, but also could also prevent some fullness to show on stage. As all you guys know, I look a lot fuller during the workouts and before the show than actually in the show itself, but conditioning was the most important aspect right now. But as you can see, the conditioning didn't really suffer that much, but I am a lot more fuller than I was on stage. So that is something to experiment with for next time, because every single time that you compete, you learn more and more. But this time the shape definitely was the best that it could possibly be. Of course, checking out if the Christmas tree is still there, and it definitely still is. So the main priorities that I will be working on this coming year will be the back thickness, especially the lower back thickness, but also the upper back thickness a bit, the triceps and the legs overall. And when I fix all those areas, I am pretty sure that my entire physique will look a lot better. And of course I will also be working on the waist a little bit, training the vacuum even more, making it slimmer, which I believe is definitely possible. A lot of bigger bodybuilders have done this, and it's just about consistency, because from the side, in the side poses, the waist looks you know, slim enough. But from the front, because my lats insert a bit higher than most bodybuilders, I simply need a better V taper in the waist itself, which I will be working on for sure, and I will be sharing everything on this very channel on Vintage Genetics. And guys, I just want to thank you so much for the support. Truly, everybody who came to see me, who gave me feedback, who gave me criticism, everybody who comments under the videos, everybody who sends me messages, emails, direct messages on Instagram, the comments. I appreciate you a whole lot. I want to thank you for watching. Next show will be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. And don't forget to stay golden.